G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for watching the Wildkard Rugby Show. As always, it is my pleasure and privilege to talk about the greatest game in the world, rugby. Waratahs versus Crusaders. Boy, this was a great game of rugby. And I think a lot of the Waratahs players and the current coach, Darren Coleman, will be, sleeping and smiling in their dreams tonight as the Crusaders is coached by the former coach of the Waratahs, Rob Penney, and it's now 2-0 for the Waratahs over the Crusaders under Rob Penney. And again, Rob Penney left the Waratahs halfway through the season due to terrible results, only for Darren Coleman to step in and trying his heart out to turn the team around. And this is a really big statement for the Waratahs to get themselves back in the winning page. First win of the season at home. Not the greatest result so far. They've lost so many tight games this season. They finally pulled one out, which is really, 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 really good to see. And boy, unlike last week, the Waratahs actually fronted up in every aspect of the game. And, I know they kicked a bunch of goals, penalty goals, but unlike last week, where the Waratahs were grateful to be taking 3 points because we finally got some points, boys, right? Unlike last week, this week they actually fought hard, contested hard at the breakdowns, getting those penalties, putting pressures on the Crusaders. And yeah, with pressure, Crusaders has always had a bit of a history of giving away penalties, and the Waratahs truly earned those penalties this week. And sure enough, that was the difference, keeping the Waratahs in the game and eventually leveling the game 40 points to 40 with a penalty. Johnny McNichol, deliberate knock on. I think it's really unfortunate with Johnny McNichol getting that deliberate knock on, because earlier in the game there were so many deliberate knock-ons that was just brushed over by referee Nick Berry. With this one, I thought he was going to just say, just a knock-on, game over. But Johnny McNichol made a massive mistake. I know what you're thinking. Oh, he didn't even try to catch the ball. He tried to dodge it and then it hit him in the hand. Exactly. He did not try to catch the ball. He tried to duck out of the way and the ball hit him in the hand. That is exactly the reason why he got sent off. And that is exactly the mistake he made. If he had actually tried to catch the ball, attempt to catch the ball, then I have no doubt that Nick Berry would have made the same decisions that he did earlier in the match and called it just a knock on and end of the game. But the fact that he tried to dodge the ball so that it didn't hit him and actually would end up hitting it means that he never attempted the catch, which leaves the referee no choice but to give a deliberate knock-on, penalty, and a yellow card. That is the key, because he did not attempt to catch the ball. Yes, he did try to get out of the way and not get hit by the ball, but that's just not good enough. That's just not what the law says. So yeah, Johnny McNichol, a little bit unfortunate. I think if he actually tried to catch the ball, he probably could have caught it, to be really, really frank. And, but yeah, big mistake there, and leaving the Waratahs an opportunity for Harrison to kick a 40-minute penalty to level the game. And finally, the Waratahs, extra time, got himself in the right territory, building. I was like, please just drop goal already. They built so many faces right in front of the goalpost. And then eventually Harrison kicked the ball over, unlike Edmund did against the Fijian Endura, where he hit the post pad, right? Harrison kicked the ball nice and high, and he sailed through between the goalpost for a massive, sigh-relieving win for the Waratahs. My goodness, that was good. And for the Crusaders, some outstanding performances. Obviously, the return to Ethan Blackadder is always good to see him back in the team. Outstanding performer was Seville Reese. Again, he did this every week, pretty much. Even the games that the Crusaders play really poorly, he always looked absolutely spectacular. There were times on the field where Seville Reese was just like doing everything. Like it literally was like Seville Reese passing the ball to Seville Reese and grab a kick behind Seville Reese, scoop up the ball, try, right? He was just like everywhere. It literally felt like that, all right? That's not actually happened. It literally felt like he was just doing everything and scoring tries for the Crusaders, or setting up tries for the Crusaders. Unbelievable performance. And there was one try where he scored. He just like ran over Jorgensen, like literally like he ran over a little child Jorgensen was like bigger and taller than Severin Reese. Severin Reese is a pretty small guy. And he just like bumped him over, like literally like little kid, and just like, man, put the ball down for a try. Oh, that was amazing. That was really, really good for Severin Reese. For the Waratahs, again, the most consistent performer for the Waratahs is Lockie Swinton. Sad that he's going to go overseas, but man, he's in such a good form right now. He looked massive out on the field, much bigger than he was before. And man, he was physical, really, 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 really good performance by the Lockie Swinton. And he got a try as well this game. Up front, in the set piece, the Waratahs, despite not having Angus Bell, was actually quite evenly matched in the scrummaging, even though they had Joe Moody and Owen Franks coming off the bench. Right, I saw that someone tried to sell an Owen Franks jersey on Facebook, and I was like, oh my god, that looked good. It was like a 2014, 2013 Owen Franks jersey, and it's got like his name like etched into the bottom of the jersey. Oh man, it looks so good. So Owen Franks, right, 2 times World Cup winner, was not really able to get anything out of the scrummaging against the Waratahs. And the lineouts as well. The Waratahs, the Crusaders actually has historically known as the best lineout more defense and offensive team in the world. In fact, just a couple years ago, they were like by far the best in the world. And now the Waratahs actually did better than the Crusaders in that area. 2 more tries, I think, for the Waratahs. It was just brutal watching the Crusaders struggling to defend it. Yeah, ironically, when Rob Penny was in charge of the Waratahs, the Maul was just like, was a joke back then. Did you know this? Like, the Waratahs players were literally like trying to figure out how to defend the Maul live on TV, like a bunch of school kids trying to figure out how to play rugby for the first time. Yes, it was that embarrassing. Not that long ago, 2-3 years ago, when Rob Penny was in charge, that's how bad the Waratahs Maul was, right? Set piece was. And the Crusaders, ironically, Rob Penny seems to carry that on to the Crusaders, and that was a bit of a letdown for the Crusaders fans in that regard. The breakdown, though, the Crusaders always just so good at the breakdown, so much urgency, and the Waratahs did front up a lot more this game than they did in previous meetings. I thought the kicking game was probably slightly better control than the Waratahs over the Crusaders, but man, the Crusader powerhouse got themselves through, almost winning the game, and only for their discipline to cost them that deliberate knock on. Anyway, let's look at some of the match stats of the game. 4 tries to the Waratahs, to the Crusaders 5. Bit more run meters, 484 for the Crusaders, 403 for the Waratahs. Turnovers conceded 15 against the Waratahs, Crusaders 13. 135 tackles made for the Waratahs, 25 missed tackles, 128 tackles made for the Crusaders, 30 missed tackles. More missed tackles with Crusaders over the Waratahs. Yeah. The kicking game, 22 for the Waratahs, 23 for the Crusaders. 100% goal kicking from the Waratahs. Both Edmund and Harrison were 100%. But the Crusaders, 2 missed conversions. Yeah, could have been the difference right there on the scoreboard. Could have been, the golden points could have been completely averted if that had not been the case. Lineouts, 2 lineout slots for the Crusaders. This is what I was talking about. It's like Crusaders has historically had the best lineouts. When it comes to lineouts, the Moors, always the best. They actually got outplayed by the Waratahs. Jed Holloway did extremely well in the lineouts to disrupt the Crusader throws. Scrummaging quite even overall, 7 for the Waratahs, 3 for the Crusaders. Like I said, I felt like the Crusaders probably could have got a bit better, should have been a bit better in the scrummaging because of how much experience they had off the bench. And here it is. Pressure creates penalties. The Waratahs put on the pressure and they got the penalties they wanted. Only 6 penalties. Waratahs managed to really massive improvement on that discipline front, whereas the Crusaders slipped. 11 penalties to the Waratahs and 1 yellow card. Johnny McNichol. Yeah, and that was, this was a hugely entertaining game. The scoreboard went back and forth so many times, so let's quickly recap what happened in the game. It took a minute right from the kickoff for the Crusaders to get points on the board. Yeah, from the kickoff, Severin Reese, like I said, he was doing absolutely everything. He ripped the ball off winning the ball from the kickoff right away, and then the Crusaders built a few phases, quick ball down the sideline, Seven Reese into the corner. The 10 Edmund was on the wing, completely misread the situation, and Reese just ran straight past him. Try time, a minute on the clock. Yeah, it was ridiculous how good Seven Reese was. Scoreboard 5-0 to the Crusaders. Waratahs won. Everybody's in the world is thinking, are they going to strike back? Are they going to be the Waratahs that play the Brumbies and try to milk 3 points every time that's available? Or is the Waratahs going to swing back and try to get some real points on the board? And sure enough, the Waratahs got themselves back immediately. The ball was kicked. The Waratahs got the ball back from the kickoff and then just built into the Crusaders territory. And there was a nice little inside ball to Dylan Peach. Found the nice gap through, and then he linked up with Lockie Swinton, the big, strong ball runner. Goes in for the first try for the Waratahs. 4 minutes on the ball. Immediate reply. Tick the scoreboard up 7 points to 5. 9 minutes into the game, there was again, Waratahs was building some pressure. The Crusaders were building some pressure. There was a nice little, loop behind ball. Deep, backdoor play from the Crusaders. And the ball kind of just went out wide to Seven Reese down the sideline. 1-on-1 Max Jorgensen. And then Seven Reese, despite looking like he's only about half the size of Jorgensen, just pummeled him over like absolutely nothing, like a little schoolboy. And just easy as that, try time. It was such a huge hit. You do not expect that Seven Reese would just run over him so easily. Didn't even slow him down and just bumped him over and try time. Almost like a John Alomu's move. 12 points to 7 for the Crusaders. 13 minutes into the game, there was a little comment made by Morgan Turin-Louis. I thought this comment was a little bit. I don't agree with the comment. He said you can't really go toe to toe with Crusaders. You have to control you have to take the 3 points, essentially control the tempo, which I don't agree. I think you have to go toe-to-toe with the Crusaders, but you have to play tight. You can't play the loose, expensive style that the Crusaders wants to play. Like the chaotic style. You don't want to play into that, but you definitely want to go toe-to-toe. You definitely have the front tough physically. And so I didn't really agree with Morgan Turin-Louis there, but I think maybe that's not exactly what he meant as well. But yeah, I don't think going toe-to-toe is definitely the way to go, but you have to keep it tight. And tight rugby has led to a penalty for the Waratahs, taking 3 points, tick the scoreboard up 10 points to 12. 80 minutes into the game, pressure brings penalties, more pressure from the Waratahs. Another penalty right in front of the goalpost. 13 points to 12, Waratahs back ahead. 24 minutes into the game, Seven Reese just he's just so good. He did everything here. He basically what happened here? He basically ran down the sideline, and then he offloaded the ball, and then one phase later he was running down the sideline again, and then he offloaded the ball back in the field to the Crusader. I think one of the Crusader number 7, and then number 7 got the ball pass, and then another offload to McLeod. Try time to the Crusaders. The Seven Reese involved in this series, he touched the ball 3 or 4 times, 3 times at least, leading to this try, and it was just literally him doing everything. It was insane how much involvement he got, and eventually setting up his teammates for the try. It was just insane. 13 points to 19 for the Crusaders. At this point, 27 minutes into the game, the Waratahs strikes back. It looked like there was a deliberate knock-on for the Crusaders. Referee said no. The Waratahs went for the 5-meter line out. They had a penalty advantage. Wasn't from the deliberate knock-on. It was from a different from offside. I think it was. They went for the line out. They went for the more. There was a nice little ball. They went for the more. So there was a nice little trick play from the line out. So Jet Halloway got the ball at the back of the line out, and everybody think that he was going to set up the more at the back. He popped the ball forward to Lockie Swinton at the front of the line out, and they set up the more at the front, and the more just worked perfectly. Went straight through for the try. Hannigan was the one with the ball. 20 points to 19. Waratahs getting themselves back in front. 33 minutes in the game. Penalty to the Crusaders. This was the first penalty against the Waratahs. Crusaders kicks 3 points. 20 points to 22. 36 minutes into the game, Waratahs more pressure, and guess what? Pressure leads to penalties, especially in front of the goal line for the against the Crusaders. Waratahs get themselves back in front, 23 points to 24-2, just before halftime, and this is truly the testament of the Waratahs turning the corner just before halftime, instead of just like, oh, let's take a penalty goal. Right, they had a penalty, they could have probably kicked it. They're like, nah, we're going to go for the try. We're going to go for the line out. Really showing that toe-to-toe mentality, which I was really like, I literally was like applauding for this. They went for the line out, they went for the more. It looked like it went over the try line. And no replay. TMO just says no try held up. And then we'll have to watch the replay during the break. Again, I think Triple Rugby really need to rethink about this, because showing, like, waiting for the TMO decision, that no try, like in any like rugby league, it's like the massive, like everybody wants to see that. For some reason in rugby, they think that nobody wants to see the referee decision, try, no try. They just quickly made the decision, no replay. And then you have to watch, like, during the halftime break to see that the ball was indeed held up. But nevertheless, the Waratahs, like I said, despite the fact that they probably could have taken 3 points here, I really applauded the effort and the mentality, the winning mentality to go for that more try. And that's really important to me. And I was really happy to see that. 9 minutes into the second half, now the penalties for the Crusaders, 25 points to 23. Back in front. There was 51 minutes into the game. There was a nice little kick behind by, what's his name? Hohepa. And Johnny McNichol caught the ball on the full. And then he like tripped on himself. Tripped. And then he quickly tried to throw an inside ball pass to Amoa. Amoa ran in for the try. Unfortunately, the pass from McNichol to Amoa was forward. Yeah, no try. Did not try there. 56 minutes of the game. There was another penalty to the Crusaders. 23 points to 21, and it's starting to look like the Waratahs may have the game slipping away. And finally, 59 minutes to get the Waratahs get themselves back in the front foot. Jorgensen punched himself through a nice little gap, and a nice little offload got the Waratahs kind of like really close to the try line. Bunch of good offloads off the ground, inching towards the try line, and eventually the ball, short ball to Dylan Peach for a crash ball. Peach leg drive himself through. 30 points to 28 to the Waratahs, back in front. 63 minutes of the game, another penalty for the Crusaders. They went for the more. The more didn't go anywhere, but the Crusaders crashed the ball. Eventually, Mitchell Drummond got the ball and went blindside. Try time for the Crusaders. 33 points to 30 with the penalty, with the conversion missed once again. 71 minutes of the game, the Waratahs got themselves back in front. Again, nice little backdoor play from the Waratahs, spreading the ball out wide, and just like getting over the advantage line, and just again nice little pop off the ground, little offloads, and it looked like they were gonna knock the ball on, but somehow they were able to hold on. Eventually, got really close to the try line, and Heaven crashed over for got the ball popped off the ground to him, crashed over for the try. 71 minutes, Waratahs back in front, 37-33. And it looked like 77 minutes of the game, the Waratahs was going to lose the game to Sable Reese. He got the ball again, just busted through down the sideline. And it was like a couple meters short, and he was getting pushed out the sideline. He threw the ball back in field. Luckily, there was 2 Crusaders players and 1 Waratah. The ball went to the Waratah player, and he had to ground the ball in goal. And unfortunately, the referee said that, hey, the Waratah player took the ball back in goal. Like, literally, he was inches away, and he had to take the ball back in field. And unlucky, it was scrum to the Crusaders, and the ball went to the back of the scrum. Leo Wille, one of the most exciting upcoming players for New Zealand, scooped up the ball back of the number 8. Ran into the blind side, just too big, too strong. Bang! Try time. His blonde hair turned purple this week. He's dyed blonde hair, by the way. I don't think he had normal blonde hair. It was purple this week. Went in for the try. Really, this guy is so good. Leo Villi. The way he handles the ball, the way he catches the ball, he handles everything. Like everything he does, it looks so smooth. his massive future for the Crusaders, for New Zealand rugby. I think is he going to play for New Zealand rugby? I don't know. And yeah, he's such a good talent, up-and-coming talent, Leo Willie. And at that point, you think it's over. Crusaders missed the conversion, 40 points to 37. And finally, like I said, full-time whistle goes. Like the Waratahs. Oh, by the way, in that scrum, Lockie Swinton looked like he was grabbed. So it probably should have been a no try there. But anyway, they let it go. And the conversion was kicked just before the full-time whistle went off. So it was a bit weird because basically what happened was they went TMO review this and left the clock running. So the try was actually scored 78 minutes and a half. At 78 minutes and 40 seconds something. So there should be a kickoff for the Waratahs, but they left the clock running. And by the time the Crusaders was taking the kick, it was already like, the referee basically said he can just run the clock down. Yeah, that was really, really bad. And then the Crusaders, despite saying that, Rihanna made a mistake, kicked the ball just before the clock actually went dead. So Nick Berry said this is a kickoff. And Waratahs won the kickoff. Like I said, a couple of phases later, Johnny McNichol, deliberate knock on, yellow card. And Harrison kicked the penalty, extra time. Waratahs managing, Harrison kicked the ball deep. Crusaders had a 22-meter line out on their own throw. Almost a few 22 didn't get it. This throw was so horrendous. The throw literally went nobody. It was just like the ball was lobbed into the line out. Nobody seemed to jump and then just bounced off the ground in the middle of the line out. And then Waratahs scooped it up. Build phases. Eventually, felt like 200 phases, right? Eventually, the ball went out to Harrison. Drop goal. Game over for the Waratahs. Really, really well done. Anyway, guys, I wanted to keep this video a little bit shorter. It's already 22 minutes. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. And see you guys tomorrow for more Super Rugby review. Cheers.